Okay, be honest with me for a second. Have you ever been sitting in class? Your professor finishes explaining something, and you're sitting there like, I have absolutely no idea what they just said. Then they ask, any questions? And you're thinking, yeah, about literally everything. But nobody raises their hand, so your brain immediately goes, well, I guess everyone else understands except me? Plot twist. There's actually a really good chance everyone else is thinking the exact same thing. So, today we're talking about what I like to call the biggest lie in every university classroom. This whole situation actually has a name: pluralistic ignorance. I know, it sounds like the kind of term your professor throws on a slide 6 minutes before the exam, but it's actually super simple. Basically, your private thoughts don't match your public behavior. Inside your head, you're thinking, I'm confused. I don't get this. Maybe I should have done the reading. But on the outside, you're just sitting there, pretending your life is together. The funny thing is, almost everybody else is putting on the exact same performance. So, why does our brain do this? Low key, our brains love making assumptions. The second we feel unsure, what do? We look around. Everybody else looks calm. Nobody's asking questions. Nobody's panicking. So our brain immediately goes, oh, they must know something I don't. And that's when we stay quiet. Meanwhile, every single person around you is probably looking around thinking, well, they look confident. It's honestly just one giant cycle. And here's the thing: once you learn about pluralistic ignorance, you literally cannot unsee it. Group chats, somebody goes, let's all meet at 8. Everyone reacts with a thumbs up. Meanwhile, half the group is thinking, I literally can make 8, but okay. Group projects, nobody wants to admit they don't know what's happening. Parties, everyone looks like they're just having the best time ever. Let's be so for real. Half the people are probably wondering when they can leave. Now, psychologists wanted to see if this actually happened in real life. And honestly, this experiment is kind of wild. It's called the smoke-filled room experiment. Imagine you're sitting alone filling out a survey. Then smoke literally starts filling the room. Personally, I'd be out of there. But when people were alone, about 75% actually got up and investigated. Makes sense. Here's the plot twist though. When participants were sitting beside two people who stayed completely calm, only 10% investigated. Not because they didn't notice the smoke, but because they assumed everyone else knew there wasn't actually a problem. I swear our brains really do betray us sometimes. And this is why this concept is actually way bigger than classrooms. People don't speak up in meetings. People stay quiet even when they disagree. Sometimes people don't help during emergencies right away because everyone is waiting for someone else to react first. The funny thing is, most of the time, everyone is waiting on everyone else. So, If you remember literally nothing else from today, remember these three things. First, silence doesn't mean understanding. Second, confidence doesn't always mean certainty. And third, speaking up usually helps way more people than just yourself. Because if you're sitting there thinking, please, somebody ask because I don't get it either, I promise you're probably not the only one. Okay, one last question. Coming September, you're sitting in class. Your professor finishes explaining something, and you genuinely have no clue what just happened. Any questions? Would you actually be the first person to raise your hand? Hopefully, after learning about pluralistic ignorance, your answer's a little more likely to be yes. Thanks for listening.